So tell us, why does nature matter to you?
So nature matters to me. I was born crazy about nature and wildlife since I was a really young boy. I had a fascination for all these different life forms around us. So that was perhaps the first motivation, really. But now, growing up and being a father myself, I have to say nature matters to me because I understand that the future of my child is going to depend on a healthy planet. And if we're going to degrade forest and ocean and lose biodiversity and rivers, the future of my child and the children that live today in the world is not going to be secure and safe and happy and healthy. And so these are the two motivations. One is emotional. The other one is almost selfish because we need to protect nature to secure our own future and the future of our children.
How do you think we can achieve the target of 1 billion people taking active participation in the protection of the earth, in protection of the conservation and biodiversity?
That's an easy question. Connecting to Earth. I think this is the beautiful slogan that we are using to mobilize, as I say, millions and millions, hopefully hundreds of millions of people. On one hand, to begin to understand nature and experience nature. We're getting more and more disconnected from nature because in our modern world, digital realities and all the rest, virtual realities. So on one hand, we need to connect and understand and experience nature more. But on the other, we also need to demand for more action to protect nature, because we are losing nature at an unprecedented rate and is beginning to be really putting huge ecosystems like the ocean and forest and rivers at risk. And wildlife, of course, is part of those places. So that's exactly why wildlife is disappearing, because we are losing natural places. But those natural places are important to wildlife that we love and we cherish as much as to us. And I think that's the shift in narrative that we need to make people realize. And so millions and millions of people demanding for a new deal for nature and people that supports a new ambition to protect the natural environment and make us stop taking nature for granted, because that's what's happening today.
Yes.
I think it's so important.
Yes.
If people demand for it, government and business will respond.
So, and lastly, a lot of people don't know what the COP14 is all about. They don't know what the UN Conference on Biodiversity is all about.
Right.
So, let's give us a brief explanation on what this conference is all about, how it originated, and what resolutions are being taken during this period.
So the Convention on Biological Diversity was born out of the Rio Declaration in '92, when the world woke up and said we need to develop sustainably. This morning, the Secretary General of the Convention, Christiana Pasca-Palma, said very openly, we are failing. This convention is not delivering what it was supposed to deliver. Nature is still degrading, we're losing nature very fast, so we have to think differently. And that's why this conference is very exciting, because it's going to start a journey of reforming this convention into something much more effective. Starting perhaps from the name, I think this should be called the Nature Convention.
Okay.
Everybody will understand better what it is about.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
In Paris, we had the Climate Convention, and this one is the Nature Convention.
Hopefully at the end we're going to change the name.
Yeah, and so, climate and nature, the two sides of the same challenge. And I think we have an opportunity in 2020 at the next convention conference of the parties to really, as we said before, develop a new narrative about nature important to people, and a new ambition driven by science that's going to unite governments and business to actually take action to stop and reverse the loss of nature.